You're sitting in a crowded, noisy coffee shop or open office, staring at a screen that has 12 different tabs open. Your inbox is pinging someone just messaged you with an urgent request, and suddenly, your chest tightens. You're not lazy, in fact, you've been working for 4 hours straight. But if someone asks you what you actually accomplished today, you just stare at them. If that loop or spinning of wheels while running on empty sounds like your life, stick with me for a minute. I stumbled across a framework that completely shifted how I look at productivity. It did not give me more hours in a day, but it stopped that constant, low-grade dread that follows you home after work. I want to show you exactly how it works in the next 3 minutes because it completely changes how you map out your week. See, for people who feel the weight of their work deeply, a chaotic day doesn't just feel busy. It feels like a nightclub is playing inside your brain while you're trying to solve a complex puzzle. By 2 p.m., you're not just tired, your brain feels completely fried, like a phone battery that drops from 80% to 3% in a single second. We try to fix this by managing our time. We color code calendars and download new apps, but we still end up staring blankly at the blinking cursor at 4 p.m., completely paralyzed. But here's what surprised me most when I started looking for a fix. Our calendars aren't actually the problem. The real culprit is something much harder to see, and it's completely ignored by traditional hustle culture. That's the core of At Your Best by Carey Nieuwhof. He didn't write a book full of rigid corporate theories or aggressive early morning routines. He wrote a manual on how to stop drowning in your own schedule by mastering your energy, not just your clock. The single biggest takeaway from the book completely flipped my thinking. The author argues that you only get about 3 hours of peak, high-fidelity cognitive energy every day. He calls this your green zone. For these 3 hours, your mind is firing on all cylinders. Your focus is sharp, and you can solve complex problems effortlessly. But here's where it all messed up. We treat every hour of the day as if it's equal. We waste our precious green zone answering generic emails, sitting in low-value meetings, or scrolling through notifications. Then when we hit that red zone, that late afternoon slump where your brain feels like wet cement, we try to force ourselves to do our most important, high-level creative work. It's a total mismatch. It's like trying to drive a car across the country on an empty tank of gas and then getting mad at the car when it stalls. To make this actually work, there are about 2 fast ideas from the book that keep the system from breaking down. First, categorize your remaining hours. Anything left over is your yellow zone, where you're functional but not brilliant, and your red zone, where you should only do brainless admin work like clearing files or scheduling posts. Second, compromise on the low-stakes stuff. If a low-priority task lands on your desk during your green zone, ruthlessly push it to your red zone. Let your emails wait. Protect those 3 peak hours like your entire career depends on it, because it actually does. Quick start action steps. You don't need to overhaul your whole life tomorrow. Just try this one tiny thing tonight. Look at your calendar for tomorrow and identify your personal green zone. For most people, it's right block in the morning. But it could be late at night. Find those 3 hours. Drag a big block over them and label it deep focus. Turn off your notifications during that window. Treat it like an ironclad meeting with yourself that you cannot cancel. So in closing, when you stop fighting your natural energy cycles and start working with them, the exhaustion lifts. You get to finish your day with energy left over for the people and hobbies you actually love. Your future self will thank you for it.